Welcome to By Grand Design, the weekly podcast hosted by Stephanie Sullivan and Dina Carroll, featuring interviews and conversations about faithfully building a life by grand design.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. I am so excited to welcome you to By Grand Design. It is only me today, Stephanie Sullivan, and there's a reason for that. So I was actually supposed to be with Dina and her daughter Danny this weekend, working on some videos showing you how to paint kitchen cabinets and updating your kitchen without having to spend a lot. The other day, I was praying for a break. I'm like, I just, need a snow day where the whole world stops and I can catch up with myself. Later that afternoon, I end up falling down the stairs, fracturing my tailbone, and it put me out of commission for a little bit. I was just able to sit in a car for a little bit yesterday. Sitting's very difficult in a time where I could get really frustrated and feel sorry for myself. I decided, you know what? I asked God for a break. And here I've got it. I've got this chance to catch up with myself, to do some planning for the year, to record this podcast for those of you who have been sidelined already in 2020. And let's just look at those sidelines as blessings. Let's just take a moment to slow down. Instead of worrying about the things that you should be doing, let's think about the things that you can be doing. So this week, I've spent a lot of time journaling. I've spent a lot of time actually just catching up on email and doing just a lot of those things where when you're going, they sort of get put to the back burner and you're like, I will do it later, I will do it later, I will do it later, until next thing you know, you have a mountain of things to do. So, in the process of me processing all of this and being sidelined, I started thinking, what do you do when you ask God for something and it's not the way that you want it? And again, it's all in the mindset. He knows better than you or I what we need. He knows what we need. So whether it's being sidelined for 2 weeks while you wait for your tailbone to heal, whether it's, whatever it is that sidelined you this week, let's find a blessing in it. Another thing I was thinking about, as it is the new year, and this is the first podcast of the year, I know for me, it is a time of year where I'm organizing the entire year. And it starts with putting the Christmas decorations away, going through, because your house is pretty chaotic during the Christmas season. I know mine is. And there's just a lot of stuff. You got a lot of stuff. The kids got a lot of stuff. And you're trying to put it all away. Things are just a mess. But the other thing I want us to think about is organizing our mind. And that is something that, like I said, I did a lot of journaling this week. It was one of those things that I was really organizing my mind and clearing my intention for 2020. I was listening to another podcast yesterday. They said, how you always need to live in your intention. If you're doing that and you're living in your purpose, that will bring so many other benefits to so many other people. And even though you are serving yourself, you are serving your God, and you are serving those around you. So that got me thinking, okay, so what is my purpose? We talked in our last episode about Proverbs 31 woman and all of the different things that this woman of God does. And Dina made the point to say it's not all done at the same time. It's all depending upon the different seasons of your life. So you may be in a season where your primary person is to make sure those little ones are loved and taken care of. That is absolutely your purpose this year. And if you live in that purpose, not only will your kids be better for it, your husband will be better for it, you will be better for it, and God will be blessing you. So for me, we've said before how I am an empty nester. For me, it's a little different. I am to the point where, yes, I'm still a mom, but I've raised my children and they've both moved out. It's my husband and I now. I have had several different careers or jobs over my lifetime, mostly just because my primary purpose was taking care of those children. I'm to the point where I'm not quite sure what my purpose is. So last year, I came to the realization that I am a creator. I have always had a creative personality. Regardless of whatever job I had at the time, the creating part, the creative part, was always the most exciting to me. So through that, last year, I dedicated my year to trusting in what the Lord was guiding me to do, to really develop my creativity, sharing that creativity with others, whether it was making items for somebody's home, whether it was teaching them how to make their own items, whether it was sharing those stories with you over this podcast. This year, I can feel that my season is changing a little bit, and that might sound strange that year of creativity was only a year, that was my purpose for a year. And that's not saying that I'm not still doing things that are creative. It's I need to do more in implementing what I know about creativity in business, managing a creative business. And so that is my intention for this year. And you will see when we're doing a lot of our interviews this year, they are about different people who have found their purpose, whether it be in business, whether it be a nonprofit, whether it be in discipleship, whether it be in raising their children and taking that time. But it's all about living in your purpose. I really hope that you will take a little time in the next week or so and just start journaling. Let your mind be quiet. Spend some time with God, asking what your purpose is. And again, that doesn't mean that this is going to be your purpose for the rest of your life. Yes, I'm still a mom. Yes, I'm trying to make sure to the best of my ability that my kids are happy and safe. But that is not my focus anymore. I've given them the tools to be happy and safe. And my husband always says it's sort of like bumpers in the bowling alley when your kids are little, and you put the bumpers up, and that way they can't get a gutter ball, and it keeps them in line. Well, as our children get older, from infancy to their adolescent years, to their teenage years, to their young adult years, those bumpers widen. They're not gone, but they're widened. So there's less bumpering or buffering or guiding that you have to do. So embrace these changes in season. Let's spend some time being quiet, thinking about our purpose, praying for our purpose, sharing our thoughts and ideas with those that need to hear them. And when you are sidelined, rather than dwelling in what went wrong, find peace in the fact that you now have time to do something else. And that can come from losing a job, which actually I know someone who, very close to me, who lost their job in September, and they were devastated. Absolutely devastated. What am I going to do now? Within just a few weeks, not only had they found a new job, but they found one that they didn't realize liberated them. They didn't realize that the job that they were in prior was toxic to them. They didn't realize the weight that they were carrying around from being in this position where they were not happy and they were not valued. And now they are at a place where they are valued. All of a sudden, that weight is lifted off. God, like I said, God knows more than we know. So when you suffer those setbacks, try and find a moment where you can see the blessing in that setback. When this friend of mine lost their job, they're like, well, when one window closes, a door opens. Well, it can be even internally. It doesn't have to be necessarily a new, better job. It could be finding peace within yourself. It could be finding peace with your spouse. It could be about finding peace with someone that you have held resentment towards, which I will be the first to admit. That's still a project for me because there's definitely somebody I hold a lot of resentment towards. Find the blessing in the setback. It's a new year. Like I said, take a couple minutes each day if you can. Journal, pray, be quiet, and listen. Figure out your purpose and work towards that purpose. And even if there's a setback, or at least an unexpected happening, figure out how you can still fulfill your purpose in that new reality. Thank you guys so much for listening. I believe Dina and Danny are posting videos this weekend of them painting Danny's kitchen. I will be hopefully posting some videos soon on some more DIY projects. Visit us at bygranddesign.com, and that's 1D, bygranddesign.com. You can also find us on Facebook. That's where we will be posting so many of our videos. And right here on our podcast is where you will find inspirational messages, stories, and hopefully something that will connect with you and inspire to live in your purpose. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
We are so honored and blessed that you would spend part of your busy day with us at By Grand Design. Please take a moment and hit the subscribe or follow button on whichever podcast platform you listen to us on. And while you're at it, please leave us a review. Your reviews are so important and help us to book quality guests and provide the content you want to hear. For DIY videos and behind-the-scenes info, you can find us on Facebook at By Grand Design and at our website, bygranddesign with 1D.com.